Welcome to another edition of Against the Grain Sports Podcast Uncut. And I'm your host, Jody Coleman, in the building. Hope everybody had a fabulous Mother's Day weekend. I hope that the ladies were able to celebrate and the men was able to celebrate the women, the mothers in their lives. So had a fabulous time up here in the Midwest, and Dayton, Ohio, of course, is where we're airing from. But we have a great show. We've been off for about a week, so we got a lot to cover. NBA playoffs is in full swing, the semifinal rounds. We already got one team that has punched their ticket to the NBA Eastern Conference Final, the New York Knicks. A lot of just about 2 weeks ago, we was calling for Mike Brown's job, and the Knicks need to do this, and the Knicks needs to do that. But guess what? The Knicks are in the finals, NBA Eastern Conference Finals, yet again for the second straight season. Again, we also have teams that's on a break of elimination. The Lakers play tonight against the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're down 3-0. Let's see if they can continue their season or their season will be over. We will see very soon. We got my guy, Jarrell, Soul on Sports, Glenn, all the way from San Antonio, Texas. What's going on, my guy?
Jody, I know you want to hear saying that we would call for Mike Brown to get fired. That man's a coach of the year. What are you talking about, man?
Hey, listen, we was calling for that man's head. What's up to Kathy? Kathy, she said, what's up, everybody? She said she had to cook dinner, and early today is 95 degrees in California. She said go to the Thunder because she is not a LeBron James fan. But how you feeling, my boy?
I'm good, man. It's been a pretty good weekend. I celebrated my anniversary yesterday. So 29 years, brother. 29 years.
Hey, man. Hey, congratulations on being able to withstand that. I can't even be alive 29 years, let alone you being in a marriage with another person for 29 years, man. It's crazy work, man. I appreciate that, though, man, because it gives me something to look forward to, man. You know what I'm saying? I still consider myself as relatively a young man and looking to have that type of love in my life, man. So congratulations to you, man.
I'm just glad she let me stick around this long.
Hey, it ain't nothing wrong with that, man. But we're gonna talk about some NBA. Can we talk some NBA today, man? Because
let's get into
we got the NBA playoffs. We got the lottery. We'll talk about the lottery and Washington Wizards getting the first pick of the NBA draft, the first time since I believe it was 2001 when they picked Kwame Brown with that first pick. So let's see if they can do a little bit better with their first selection this year of the draft. But let's talk about some games we got going on tonight, man. And the first game that we got going on tonight that's about to tip off at about 8 o'clock today, man, is we have the Pistons against the Cavaliers in game 4. The Pistons are up 2-1. We were ready to bury the Cleveland Cavaliers. So James Harden said, you know what? Y'all ain't going to keep talking shit about me. I'm going to show y'all that I'm still James Harden. And James Harden was able to get some good buckets to keep them alive and not go down 3-0, man. But what do you think tonight? So now that the Pistons are on the road in Cleveland,
it's going to be another tight game. I think all these games are going to be pretty even. These teams are pretty evenly matched. I would say the Cavaliers, both teams have really been struggling on offense. I expect another close game. James Harden, like you said, Joe, he stepped up big time in the last game. I think he had 9 points in the fourth quarter, clutch buckets towards the end of the basketball game. We just need to keep James Harden away from game 7s. Other than that, he's normally okay. Or big game 5, he won't step up. But I think they'll be fine. They're not. I think this is pretty evenly matched. I think Cleveland wins tonight.
Man, I don't know, man. I think that the Cleveland Cavaliers, I told you their bench is what I think their Achilles heel is. But of course, with them being able to play at home, you know, role players play a little bit better on the road. I mean, at home than they do at home. I mean, at home, they apologize for that. But I think Detroit, man, is a superior team. And Cade Cunningham, I'm a big Donovan Mitchell fan, but Cade Cunningham has showed me that he is better than Donovan Mitchell. And Cade Cunningham is arguably a top 7 player in this NBA, man. What do you think about that? Do you think Cade has elevated himself to top 7, top 5, perhaps, in the NBA right now?
Here is Jody on here praising the light-skinned brothers again. You just cannot contain yourself when you talk about these light-skinned brothers. When it comes to light-skinned brothers, they top tier every time. I guess you're a big Drake fan too, Jody. You like Drake? You're not a Kendrick guy. You're more of a Drake guy.
I am. I'm a very, very
See?
Hey, I'm a very big Drake fan. I am.
No, but Cade Cunningham is legit.
What am I supposed to do?
He's on the Jody. I would say Cade Cunningham is on his way to being better than your other light-skinned brother, Jason Tatum from the Boston Celtics. The way he's been playing of late, I'm very impressed with the way he's been carrying this basketball team.
Whoa.
He's been what?
Hey, pump your brakes.
I know you like Jason Tatum.
You get a little bit ahead of yourself.
This kid is legit, man. I like the way he's been playing. He's carrying this team because they don't have much offense. I mean, like you said, Tobias Harris is your second option. And they're in the second round in the playoffs. They're not really, maybe it helps them during the Eastern Conference, but Cade Cunningham is the truth, even though he's light-skinned with green eyes, but he's the truth.
Hey, listen, man, I wasn't a big Cade Cunningham fan when he came to the lead out of Oklahoma. When he came out of Oklahoma State, I really would. I like him to be good, but I didn't think he was going to be this good. I'm gonna be honest. I'm one of those guys that try to keep it real. And a lot of people like, man, I knew he was going to be good from day one. No, I did not know that Cade Cunningham was going to be this type of player, even though he was the number one pick in the draft out of Oklahoma State. Because I really thought that. Remember, he came out in the same draft with Jalen Green, that is now with the Phoenix Suns. I thought Jalen Green had an opportunity to be slightly better than him because they've been competing against each other for years in the AAU circuit. They always been 1 and 2 in the country. And I thought he was going to be a little bit better. Kathy said the Cavs need to work on their damn layups and turnovers. And she said Cavs need to work on practicing shooting the goddamn ball. You know what, Kathy? The reason why they have problems with layups is because they just don't have a lot of athleticism on their team. If you look at the front court, I like Evan Mobley, but Evan Mobley reminds me, he just doesn't give me what I'm looking for as a third option. You know what I'm saying? He reminds me of Otis Thorpe. You remember Otis Thorpe? Otis Thorpe wasn't a bad player with the Houston Rockets, but he just wasn't as athletic as I believe that he can be. And I think Jared Allen, the center, he is one-dimensional as well. The classic twin towers, but you can play that basketball right now. So, and then big thing off the bench, big man. They don't get anything off the bench with their secondary big man. But the Pistons, I think they win this game and they win this series. And Cade Cunningham, like I said, with Tobias Harris being your number 2. So who is the number 3 on the Pistons team right now? Who you think is the third option on this team? Is it?
I would say Durham. I would say
Duncan Robinson.
I would say Jalen Durham is probably the third option, which is not saying much. They don't really run plays for him. He gets alley-oops here and there, but I would say it's probably Durham.
You say who you say? I'm sorry, I lost connection.
I would say Jalen, the center, Jalen Durham.
Who you think is the number 2? Who you think is not in this playoff? I mean, he barely is giving you over 11 points a game. He's not playing like he normally played. Donald K as ranked number 1 in high school, but a loaded team with Scotty Barnes, Moses Moody, and Day Short. So you really can't tell that they were blowing up. He said blowing everybody out. So in the AAU circuit, so that's going on with that, man. I think this is the guy that he was one of the top ranked players coming out of high school when he went down and played for Memphis. But I just think offensively, man, he's very limited on that offensive side. What do you think Detroit is going to be able to do to try to get a series over in 5? Because they want to. The Knicks are waiting and have about a week before they play another game, man. So what does Detroit have to do to finish them off?
Well, they can beat Cleveland. Cleveland's they got some nice talent on Cleveland's roster, but I just don't think they're physical enough. Detroit can just beat them up, kind of like how Minnesota tried to beat up Wemby. They got to go that route and be more physical and get this series over. Even though them Knicks are a problem right now in the Eastern Conference, but I could say they'd be more physical than Cleveland. I still think they'll win the series. I think it's going to be 7 games though.
Okay. What's up to my man, King Minks in the building? He said, my guy's a real cool brother. Said, Jody, my guy, you can dress, bro. I see you out there with the ladies, man. Hey, listen, man, I just be trying to do what I can do, King Minks. I be out there, man, just trying to do my thing, man. You know what I mean, man? Appreciate you, big dog. And you know what? If you come up this way to Ohio, man, I got some places where I'll take you, man. So, Soul the same way. He said, Gerard,
Oh,
if you
yeah.
ever come to the city, you got to hang out. Oh no, we get. If I come to Memphis, because I do come through Memphis and Tennessee, Tennessee a lot, man. I travel, especially when I go to Alabama for the Senior Bowl. I definitely got to come and check you out. Hey, but so we got some other games going on tonight, man, and the other game is probably your favorite game. Your favorite team is playing. Your favorite team outside of the Dallas Mavericks is you got Oklahoma City that look like they about to sweep the King. And we talking about the Lakers, man. The Lakers is, and I don't the crazy thing. So I don't think the Lakers have played bad. I just think it's that good. So do you think the Lakers stay alive, or the Lakers is over for the Lakers after the night?
It's over for the Lakers tonight. They got to the second round. We didn't think they'd get this far, considering we thought the Rockets would take care of them in the first round. So for them to get to the second round, we're all a little bit surprised that they got this far. But they got to the second round, and they're not going to win any more games in the playoffs. It's been a nice run for the Lakers. They depended on some of the wrong players to get them where they need to go. They don't have Luka, so they really don't have a chance in this series. And I don't even think Oklahoma City's playing great. SGA, the last year's MVP, is not even playing well, and they still dominate this series. They don't have Williams, their second best player. He's been out for like the last 6 games, and they got some other kid. Some rookie or second year player that come out of nowhere, and he's averaging about 20 points in this series. So I've been very impressed by Oklahoma City. Really, basically not playing full throttle and just dominating basketball teams. They haven't lost a playoff game yet. So I'm very impressed with what they've done. Now, mind you, they haven't played anybody, considering first round Phoenix was kind of not very good, and the Lakers are beat up without Luka. They depend on DeAndre Ayton to do anything. You can't depend on that. But I've been impressed with what Oklahoma City's done. They really haven't been tested yet. We'll see if the next round they get tested, because they ain't been tested the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, we definitely gonna talk about the caliber of talent that they played against and the teams they played against. We got Kathy once again she said go Thunder, because she had definitely root against anybody that likes LeBron James. Also, Eagles Philly in the building. He said good evening, good brothers. Keep doing your thing. Stay safe, stay blessed. It's time for the Philadelphia Sixers to clean house from top to bottom and build around Max, and VJ. Good stuff. And then Kathy said they are going to get swept. I caught it. Yeah, my thing is this, man. I don't think that the Lakers stand a chance, and it's not about the Lakers. I think the Lakers without Luka Doncic was a sit and dunk. I was surprised they even won the round that they did win against the Houston Rockets, which I thought they were the underdog in that series without Luka Doncic. But Oklahoma City right now, man, is just. And I'm going to give my take on Oklahoma City in just a minute, but I think Oklahoma City runs away with it. They have yet to lose a game. They have yet to even been challenged in these playoffs. They're 7-0 in the playoffs, and I think the closest any team got to them, I believe, was the Lakers in Game 1, and I think they still won by double digits. So this is one of the most dominating performances I've seen. But let's pump our brakes a little bit, because they're going against a playing top caliber team in the Phoenix Suns. In the AFC, then they're going against a Luka Doncic list Laker team. So are we praising them a little too early? So,
oh yeah, but we know they can get it done, Joey. We saw them last year win the championships. We know they can do it. It's just you normally would think a team would be tested, but they just haven't been tested by anybody yet. But we know they can get it done. But I tell you what, whoever they play out that next round is ready to play the conference final if they have any healthy players left. But they're definitely going to be ready, because that conference, that definitely the best series. And it's been up and down so far in that series.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in just a minute. Donald said the Lakers lost by 20. If you see LeBron in the fourth when they are getting blown out, that's good. I really think it's the end of the road for LeBron tonight. He thinking LeBron James, this is a swan song. He think this is it for his career. I don't know if LeBron want to go out getting swept, because that's going to be what everybody remembers. There's always a what have you done for me lately type of league. We're going to scratch 21 years of LeBron James' career, where he's been one of the best players we ever seen. In my opinion, top 3 all time. I'm not going to say better than Jordan. He's not better than Kobe. That's just my opinion. But sometimes people will disregard what LeBron has done and then be like, oh, well, he got swept. He's fucking 50, 100 years old, man. But this is my take on this. And I was just talking to my nephew, Donald. We were just talking yesterday at my nephew's AAU game, and I said the Oklahoma City Thunder has the potential to be the modern day Boston Celtics, the 50s and 60s Celtics, where the Celtics dominated and won 11 championships. Now, I'm not saying they're going to win 11 championships, so that's not what I'm saying. This is why I say Oklahoma City has draft picks up to 2029 already. They got a lot of players that's on their first apron, meaning their first contract in the NBA. They're dominating the NBA. They got so much young talent. They don't even have any veteran. The veteran on their team is probably Hartenstein. That's probably the oldest player that they got on their roster, or SGA. So you got young guys like Chet Williams, Isaiah Joe, Casey Wallace, Austin Crozier. I say Crozier. Austin, what's his name? The
Dort?
The
one. Dort?
No, Dort too, but I'm talking about the other one with the headband, the white boy from the Lakers.
Austin starts with a C.
Always
Caruso.
You got Caruso. I mean, and the reason why I say that is because they're going to be they got a kid in AJ Mitchell that just dropped 24 and 10. This is what the Oklahoma City going to be able to do. Now they got the top 12 pick of the draft, which we'll talk about that a little later. I got them still getting the guy that can come in and help the roster right away. Wiggins is on that roster. And this is why I say they can be reminiscent and have a run like the Boston Celtics, or at least the San Antonio Spurs had in the 2000s, is because when they're going to be able to manipulate teams to thinking that AJ Mitchell is your franchise guy, and they'll give up mad draft picks for this guy, and then they can start the cycle all the way over. And I'm not saying that these guys can't go to these other teams and be superstars, but they're already putting in place where they already got draft picks to 2029. And then they're going to be able to stretch that out to 2033. And you still got SGA, you still got Chet, you still got Williams, and you can move all those other pieces and keep guys coming in to that roster and just keep winning. And the only person that can stand in their way is probably the San Antonio Spurs with their youth. And that reminds me of who? The 76ers when they had Wilt Chamberlain, the only person that was able to contend with the Boston Celtics. So I think Oklahoma City has that potential to continue to keep getting lottery picks year after year, and then flipping them for more draft picks and still winning at the same time. So what do you think about that?
Oh, you're 100% right about that. But I'll tell you what, after watching what the Spurs did after Wemby got ejected the other night, those young players they have on that roster, man, I'll tell you what, Derek Harper's son is the truth. He was the number 2 pick in the draft this year, and he's just lacking more playing time. Because Fox is eating up his minutes. This kid needs to be playing more minutes. He's legit. And let's not get about Castle's a dog. And of course, we all know what Wemby can do. That core might be better. They just need playoff experience. Might be better moving forward than what Oklahoma City put on the court.
Yeah, I think their core, they're top 3, but we're talking about long term. We're talking about guys like McCain that they got for absolutely nothing, who could come in there. Isaiah Joe. These are guys, they move on from those guys. They will get a lot of draft capital. They'll get a good player in return. And then everybody seems to know their role as soon as they come over to Oklahoma City and understand that this is what we do in Oklahoma City. We play defense. And like my nephew was just telling me, he said the coach for Oklahoma City said, go out there and play aggressive defensively because we got guys behind you. Don't be afraid to get 3 and 4 fouls early because we'll rest you and let the other guys get in there and play. And they're so unselfish. All these guys seem to lack egos on this roster too. And that reminds me of what the San Antonio did. Of course, I wasn't alive when the Boston Celtics did it, but it has to be similar to that at some point. So, right?
Yeah, but it was, if they do it, Jody, if they do have go on the long run, it's going to be very impressive considering the salary cap now that we have to deal with. You're going to have to get very lucky in these, like you said, getting these players in and out of the roster because you got to keep your core together somehow. Hopefully they stay healthy and just bring the right players in there. But right now they got it going, man. They got a couple more draft picks coming their way. They got a top 15 pick this year. They can hit on that again. And they're rolling right now. People don't like the Thunder because when you win, people don't like you. But it is what it is. But they get it done.
It's funny that you said it. You say something about the draft, the salary cap. The salary cap is not going to affect them because, like I said, once they get to about to be their 4th year, you can deal them in year 3, knowing that you're not going to re-sign them, and then you can go be like, okay, well, I'm gonna give you a Casey Wallace type of player. A lot of people, he'll start for at least 8 or 9 teams in the league right now. Casey Wallace will come in and start right away, and teams will give up a lot of capital to get that young, good defensive player. We know he can shoot the 3. he can come and be a starter. And then you got to think they're going to, like my nephew said, you're going to probably dealing to a team that's not really that good. So that draft pick that you get may be a lottery pick. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure right now a lot of teams can use Cakes and Wallens at the 2-guard position. This guy is the eighth guy off the bench. And then you also got a guy, AJ Mitchell. You got Wiggins. You got Isaiah Joe. You got a whole starting 5 you can put in if you take your whole starting 5 out, and they'll still win a lot of games. So now you can rest. SGA's career can be prolonged. Yeah, Cat's career can be prolonged. Look at what they're doing without Jalen Williams as their second best player. He is sitting back, and he's like, why would I play? I'm probably not going to have to play until I see if we got to play Minnesota or we got to go play San Antonio. So he can sit out for another 2 weeks and then be completely healthy because they had so much depth on this team. I have never seen a team this deep, probably since the Lakers, when they in 86, 87, when they had Michael Cooper and Byron Scott and Magic Johnson, James Worthy, Michael Thompson, AC Green. They had a very deep Kurt Rambis, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They had a very deep team. And this Oklahoma City team is reminding me of a team that's deep, and lack of egos is what impressed me the most, though.
Well, what if the other NBA team moving forward, let's say they keep this thing rolling, and they start thinking, you know what, we're not helping these some bitches. These some bitches won 3 or 4 rings. You better figure out your own. I'm not trading none of my players to help you out. Teams might start doing that moving forward. If they see Oklahoma City is running the lead, they're like, nah, good luck. Yeah. You better figure it out. I can see that happening too.
So it's too late because they already then gave them to 2029. So we looking at it was 2026. So they still got 3 years to guys.
I think this they last year.
No, they
Clippers.
got
for Clippers. No, for Clippers picks. I know,
but they got other picks from other teams though. They got picks up to 2029. Look at their stuff.
But that depends on how good or bad those other teams. I know they had Atlanta's pick, but Atlanta's been playing better basketball of late. They made the playoff this year, so it all depends on how those other teams play too.
No doubt. Donald said in there going to draft players that already the rest of the players on the team A's. I think they'll get Lyndon Baum from Michigan. He is old and NBA ready. Right now fits right in with the Thunder. I think that's who I got him getting. I got him getting Cole Pete from Arizona. That's another guy that can just get in there and learn how to play basketball and then become in sparingly. He'll be an all-star in 4 or 5 years, and you can deal him. Kathy said I was alive during Larry Joe Bird playing era. Larry could shoot the lights out of the gym, no doubt. But that's what I'm thinking, man. But we'll talk more about that.
Oh yeah,
as we go forward. And like I said, a lot of basketball left still to be played. We can't crown the Oklahoma City the champs just yet, man. We saw when we were trying to get them. I was trying to give them 74 wins on the year, and then they started the season like 26-1, and then they realized they wasn't gonna get that mark. They started resting players and losing games. But let's talk about. Man, listen, man. The New York Knickerbockers, man, swept the 76ers in blowout fashion, 144-114. A lot of people say that the 76ers quit. They feel like they quit in game 2. They quit on Nick Nurse. Joel Embiid looked like he was hampered. Paul George played like Boy George. I don't know. I don't know what happened to Paul George, but he looked like Boy George out there. He scored 15 points in one quarter, then didn't score any more points the rest of the game. Not in this particular game, but one of the other blowouts that they were blowing. What do you think, man? The Knicks, man. I don't want to. The Knicks are the second hottest team outside of Oklahoma City in the league right now.
They're actually playing better basketball than Oklahoma City.
I don't know about that.
They're playing better, Jody. Look at it. They're playing better. The Knicks are a problem. They scored 144 points. You could say it's a road game, but hell, it would seem like it was more Knicks fans in the stadium than Philly fans. Yeah. Bro, I'm not saying they're gonna be able to keep this up, but boy, the way they've been shooting that 3-ball of late is crazy. Who's that little point guard? Deuce
McBride. That's Ray Kane's boy, Deuce McBride.
Jody, the little nigga looked like Ray Allen yesterday. He couldn't miss. It's like they had like 40-something points by the end of the first quarter. They got ambushed, the Sixers did, and their own crowd turned against them. The fans were booing. The Knicks fans were in there yelling that the Eagles suck in your own stadium. They ain't even playing football. It got bad for the Sixers fans. I felt just a little bit. Not a lot, but just a little bit. But I like the way the Knicks are playing basketball. Things are better if it's a New York team that's playing good ball, and I don't see anybody stopping them from going back to the finals for the first time since 1999.
And who they play in the finals?
They played the San Antonio Spurs in that shortened season. They played the Spurs that year.
Who they play?
They maybe we'll get a rematch.
Hold up. Who they play?
They played the Spurs.
Okay, I'll just check. I want
Joe, I won a lot of money on that series when the Spurs played the Knicks, because here in San Antonio, that was the first time Spurs they went to the final. They were sweeping everybody, right? So I just told everybody, hey, let's bet that the Spurs don't sweep the Knicks. Oh, they gonna sweep those motherfuckers too. All right, well, let's bet, bitch. So I want some money.
bet
bitch. So all I did, I just need the Knicks to win one game. They did that for me, so I was happy. They won one game. I was happy with that.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, and my man Eagles Philly, man, love him to death.
Oh man!
But I know I want to give him a cyber hug right now, because the Philly fans are the same fans that booed Santa Claus.
Yeah,
how the fuck y'all booed Santa Claus? Y'all booed Santa Claus, and then they cheered when Michael Irvin played his last game. You remember Michael Irvin played his last game in Philadelphia, hurt his neck, and they cheered when he got hurt. Listen, man, the Philly fans are different fans. But real quick before I give my take on this, man, let's go to the comments. Donald said, I think 2, maybe 3 championships most. I don't think teams can win that many championships anymore. The talent is really spread out, and we will see teams look great like the Nuggets and the Celtics, and all of a sudden 2 years later they're done. We'll see about that, Donald. King Mix said Boy George. Yeah, he was playing like Boy George. Kathy said in 1986. Home record was 50-1, including the playoffs. The Celtics were unbeatable at home, and that's the year. Also, Larry Bird won the MVP. I think he won MVP 3 straight years and won 2 titles in that span. That was one of the most remarkable.
Bad spans. White boy, man. Woo.
That span was one of the most remarkable spans that I ever seen, where you had a 3-time MVP and you win 2 championships in that. I don't know if anybody had a better 3 years than Larry Bird had.
The thing, Joe, if he wouldn't have hurt his back. And let's say Len Bias wouldn't have had the issues he had with the cocaine issue, and what was the other guy?
Reggie Lewis.
On the court? Reggie but they had a lot of bad luck for a while, so they could have even won more championships.
Yeah, I did a piece on that, and I said if Len Bias lives, that means Larry Bird could have rested his back more, and you could have kept Kevin McHale coming off the bench, where he could have prolonged his career as well. And then, Reggie Lewis could have went ahead and they got rid of Danny Ainge. He could have went into that 2-guard position. People forget they had John Bagley, was Ed Pickney. The Boston Celtics would have still maybe contended with the Chicago Bulls. And maybe the Bulls don't go on that 3-year run where they won 3 straight championships. But it would have, could have, should have, man. That's how it happens. Yep. King Mink said, if you want to crown them, then crown them. Crown their ass. And his Denny Green voice talking about the Knicks fans. And then my man Russell Higgins, man, that's my guy from elementary school. Russell Higgins, man, he said McBride was shooting the lights out. He's a big time Philadelphia Eagle fan as well. But this is my take on this game right here, man. The Knicks are playing good basketball. They won without OG Anunoby last night, or a couple days ago. They was able to win without him. The Knicks are putting up outstanding points after they struggled. After they went down 1-2 to the Atlanta Hawks, they have went on a 7-game winning streak. But this is the problem, guys. They blew this team out. They look fantastic. They basically made the 76ers quit. But let's pump our brakes just a little bit about the Knicks. They beat a 6th seed in the Atlanta Hawks, and they beat a 7th seed in the Philadelphia 76ers. We acting like they went and beat a number 1 and number 2 seed. I'm not taking anything away from the Knicks fans, but let's pump our brakes on who they beat. They beat the Atlanta Hawks that got hot at the end of the season, and they beat this Philadelphia 76er team that Embiid didn't play, but we know he was hurt coming into this series. Yeah. And I'm not taking nothing away from the Knicks, but let's go ahead and see what we can do when we get to the Eastern Conference Finals, because last year they were the favorites going against the Indiana Pacers, and they lost last year. So let's see if they could just rest. I like what Mike Brown is doing with Cat. We had said this on the show. I believe it was me, you, and Donald said that they need to start running their offense through Cat, similar to what Denver does with the Joker, making sure that Cat touches the ball every time down court. And I think that's why, in his favor, he has somebody that can come in and give him a spell in Mitchell Robertson. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't think Denver had somebody that can come in and help Joker get a rest or two. Joker, like you said, he need help, but I ain't giving him no excuse. You know, I'm Jody. I don't give excuses. But nevertheless, man, the Knicks are playing fantastic basketball.
Yeah,
but what happens next for the 76ers, man? We've been trusting the process for 12 years now. I think the closer they got was a shot against Toronto where Kawhi Leonard hits the shot and sent them home. What's next for the Philadelphia 76ers?
well, I mean, they do have some nice young talent in the backcourt, but they don't. But they do have two really, really, really terrible contracts. Joel Embiid, I think he played 35 games this year, and that's a lot for him. So, and they still owe him about $100-something million. And they got Paul George. They still owe him about $100 million. I don't know. I think they might be stuck. They might be able to get rid of one of them. But getting rid of both of those guys off your roster is going to be extremely tough. You're going to have to tell the team, look, if you take it, we'll pay half the contract or something, because I don't see a team with any common sense going out there and trading valuable assets for Joel Embiid, who's going to miss over half the season every time he walks into your building. I don't see it.
Man, I don't even know what the 76ers do at this point. I think the Sixers right now, I think Mad Max, Tyrese Maxey is one of the premier point guards in the NBA. VJ look like he's promising what he can do. But when you got guys on the roster, like you got Kelly Oubre, who is offensive deficient. And like Donald said a lot of times on the show, if you ever watch Against the Grain Sports, is that you can't have a guy out there that can't shoot the ball and all he does is play defense. Not in this NBA. And Kelly Oubre doesn't shoot the three-pointer at a high enough clip for them to go beyond the second round. And then you got guys like Paul George who completely disappears. And we got to realize they were playing Paul George at the power forward position. That's a no-go. I think Paul George, to me, is more of a two guard than he is. He's closer to a two guard than he is a power forward. So, especially at this juncture of his career, and they put him at the power forward position, that worked against the Boston Celtics, so they were playing Jason Tatum at the 4. But that's not going to work against a team. And you had to face potentially Cat. You're going against Cat a lot of times, or you got to match up with a Mitchell Robertson. But I don't know what the 76ers do. I think they got to try to run it back. Maybe, hopefully, pray, roll the dice and see if Joel Embiid can at least play 50 games and Paul George don't get suspended for 25 games for substance abuse. I don't know, man. The Sixers, the 7th seed, you beat a Boston team that's probably overrated. Real quick, Russell said that they definitely need to run the offense through Cat. That's the best they have played together yet. Yeah, I think when you got a big man that's that versatile, that can shoot the 3 and put the ball on the ground, and if he can go to the paint, he has to touch the ball. So you played basketball. I played basketball, played for Northern Kentucky, played the Division II level. If you don't feed the big man, he get disinterested in playing defense. And that means he get disinterested in blocking shots, and he get disinterested in rebounding. And that's sometimes where guys go through the lane like a drive-through because he's disinterested. I think a lot of times Cat has to be the focal point of the offense. Not saying he's the best offensive player, but Jalen Brunson is definitely your best offensive player. But I think the ball is better suited going through Cat than Brunson dribbling the fucking air out the ball every possession.
I agree.
Donald said, as crazy as it sounds, the 76ers can't do anything but run it back. Nobody is talking about Paul George or Embiid's contract, so they just have to play them out for the next 2 years. And then Russell said, but I think the Knicks are still missing something. I just don't know what it is. Like I said, Russell, man, I'm not knocking the Knicks, and I know my boy Jay Kane, the chef, and my boy Josh Alford, Ty Jean, these guys here that are big Knicks fans. But they beat the Atlanta Hawks, who was a 6th seed, and then they beat the 76ers, who was a 7th seed. So let's kind of pump our brakes just a little bit. So
the Thunder ain't playing nobody either.
And I just said that. That's it.
Yeah.
But at least, but this is the thing. This is the difference between the Thunder and the Knicks. The Thunder is coming off a championship. The Knicks are not. So if Oklahoma City goes and stub their toe and don't beat San Antonio or Minnesota, or even and then they know way the Lakers will come back. But let's say that they say something historical happened and they lose to the Lakers. Okay, they got a championship. Just like when Ohio State lost to Miami in college football. If we hadn't won a championship the year before, yes, that loss would have really stung. But when you actually win a championship and go into the next season and you lose a game that you probably should have won, it don't hurt as bad. And that's what I'm saying. The Knicks don't have that. The Knicks went to the Eastern Conference Final and lost when they were the favorite. They were the favorite against the Indiana Pacers. after beating the Boston Celtics the way that they did. They were supposed to walk into the finals and potentially beat OKC, but they couldn't get past Indiana for the second straight year. They lucky Indiana ain't playing right now. I think Indiana is the Knicks killer. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, man. Can we address the elephant in the room?
Yes, sir.
The elephant in the room is my Spurs. Victor Wembanyama had a very, I would say, immature moment where he lost his temper, lost his cool, and he elbowed Naz Reid in the neck. Even though he was getting molested, this guy was around his legs, it was a guy around his head, and he was getting fouled, and he got frustrated because the refs were not calling it because he's 7'4". I don't like that's the Shaq rule, that's the LeBron rule. I hate when they do that. If a guy is getting fouled, you have to call it, no matter if he's the biggest guy on the court or not. And I think that's why he lost his cool, because he was getting fouled. He got fouled like 15 seconds earlier than when he threw his elbow. So what do you think about this? I know we talked about this off air. You said it was a dirty play. Should he been ejected for more games than he because he'll be available in Game 5?
Well, if the late commissioner was still alive, David Stern would have suspended him Game 5. I can almost guarantee you that. But the commissioner they have now, he's like, you know what? He don't have a history of doing shit like this. So he kind of basically missed an entire game because he got kicked out early in the second quarter. Just sit down the rest of this game. We'll let you play Game 5 because we need you for ratings. They need Wemby out there because everyone was watching because of the Ant-Man's true too, but they need Wemby in this big Game 5. A 2-2 series is going to be a big game. But I think they did the right thing by kicking him out of the game at the point. I'm not saying he did it on purpose, but intent does not matter. If you hit somebody in the head with an elbow, you're going to get kicked out of the basketball game. So that just goes with it. And you're right, Jody. Who was getting fouled? It's not fair how they treat the big man in the NBA sometimes, because that's the only weapon you can use against Wemby. He's light in the ass. So let's push him around. That's all you have, because you can't. If you just play straight up basketball, no one in the world can stop this motherfucker. You can't put a big man on him because it's too slow, and guards and forwards are too little for him. So all we got to shove him around. So he gonna have to get adjusted to this, because NBA teams are not going to change how they play him. So he got to get in the gym and get even stronger in the offseason, because this type of basketball he's gonna have to deal with from the rest of his career.
Okay, Donald said Wemby should be suspended for sure, but I like I said, rules matter and consequences only matter when you're a nobody. If it was someone else, he would have been suspended. So if it was a backup center Connect, he probably would have got suspended. Donald, I agree with that. He always says that. Russell said it should have taken that long to call the freaking foul, bro. That's why he was frustrated, and that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna go against the grain, guys, on this one, man. I personally didn't think he should have been ejected out of that game. I know you, and I'm not saying this from a Spurs perspective because I'm a Spurs fan. This is coming.
Sounds like it.
Hold on, hear me out. I've seen Michael Jordan get mugged. I've seen Michael Jordan literally get taken out the air by the Detroit Pistons several times in several games. I've seen the New York Knicks push this guy around. Xavier McDaniels grabbed him by his face. I mean, I've seen Dale Davis. I didn't see Michael Jordan take physical punishment, and those guys didn't even get a flagrant 2. I sent something in our group chat where he played against the Milwaukee Bucks, and I believe it was Terry Cummings. Didn't even go for the ball. They just went for him. And those guys, and I understand that the NBA is different. But this soft shit, this is the NBA playoffs. Quit fouling the motherfucker. Like, quit making people have to retaliate because the referees don't want to do their fucking job. So if you're going to put some of these players out the game, put some of these fucking referees, they need to have replacement referees that ain't calling the game correctly. Because they did the same shit to Shaq. I done seen Shaq get frustrated like this. I done seen more Tim Duncan, but Tim Duncan didn't lose his cool. But I've seen Tim Duncan get mugged. He just didn't lose his cool. And Wemby is 22 years old, guys. What do you think? This guy, he's not going to get frustrated. You can't keep doing shit to people and then get mad when they respond. That's my thing. And did he get suspended this game? I don't think he should have, but I'm not opposed to him getting suspended in that game, but I'm glad they did the right thing by not suspending him beyond that game, because come on, man, this is not a guy. If this was Draymond Green, a guy that kicks niggas in the nuts, if this was Karl Malone, people that's known, if this was Rick Mahorn, Bill Laimbeer, I would understand. This is a guy that ain't never done none of this shit. And he went out there and he got basically manhandled. And when he tried to defend himself, and he didn't hit him in the head, he hit him in the throat. He elbowed him in the throat, not in the head.
It was above the shoulder, still bad.
I mean, I get it.
Above the shoulder, still bad.
Well, like Kathy said, she said, I seen Kurt Rambis get clotheslined by Kevin. You remember when he got, Kevin McHale got brought, like he went and got Kurt Rambis, and he didn't get ejected. I'm like, come on, man. Like,
Jody, I'm with you, but that was 40 fucking years ago. They don't play basketball like that no more. The game has changed, bro. I mean, we can't have it both ways. We want them to let the referees let them play a little bit in the playoffs. Don't we want them? Okay, we're gonna let them play a little bit more physical in the playoffs, and that's what as a fans. That's what we want, right? Now, so many tough fouls, so they're letting these teams, Minnesota and San Antonio, hand check. I haven't seen that in years, but they've been hand checking each other up and down the court, and they're not calling. They let them play a little more physical. So they're gonna let teams get away a little grabbing the hose. But Wemby got to get used to this shit, bro, because it ain't gonna change,
bro. So they were around his leg like it was like, have you ever your grandson or when your son was little, when Chris was little, and you was going to pay for something, he was hanging on your leg at the store. Like that's how my son, little Jody, would do. That's what they were doing to him in the game, and they still didn't call it. They was hanging on this dude's thigh. Come on, Soul. You can't. Come on, man.
It is what it is. I mean, he'll learn from it. He's a smart guy. He'll learn from it. He know he hurt it. He let his team down. He feels that they lost. I'm pretty sure he feels they lost the game because he wasn't out there. So I expect him to go out there and hit 40 and 15 tomorrow and get things back on track for the Spurs.
No doubt. Russell said, I agree with the refs need to take accountability too. He said it's ridiculous why they mess up the game like this. He said penalizing the refs to the refs to this shit. They have to. They got to take some accountability. They need to be in game. It can't be the next game and say, my bad, I missed the call. Because it's people's livelihoods are on the line, man. Like San Antonio could have went and took a commanding 3-1 lead. They could have took a commanding 3-1 lead in the series, even though they had an opportunity to win the game down the stretch. Because they took a lead in the fourth quarter, and then Ant-Man said, "Oh, not so fast." Kathy said Bill Laimbeer did the same thing to Robert Parrish, and Bill got the forearm. And what's up, Aza? What's up, sis? Aza in the building said, "What's up to the family?"
What's up?
Now, with that being said, let's talk about Game 4 that they lost. It was a 114-109 loss by the San Antonio Spurs. They had every opportunity to win that game, but like I said, the Ant-Man came to life in the fourth quarter. Doesn't look like his knee is bothering him at all. What do you think is going to be the determining factor going into Game 5?
Well, the Spurs are going to go in tomorrow's night game full of confidence because they're thinking, well, we let the game go at the very end without our best player. We almost had you some bitches. Ant-Man had to go in the Jordan mode late in that game in order to win it. And San Antonio missed a couple shots here and there. So the Spurs are thinking, we had these some bitches. Well, should have let Dylan Harper play a little bit more, as far as I'm concerned. I think the kid should be getting more minutes. He should be a starter next year. That's just my opinion. But Spurs got all the confidence in the world. They know they can beat Minnesota. The 2 games Minnesota did win, they barely won. So the Spurs are thinking, well, we can get them back home and we'll dog walk them like we did Game 2.
I want to go ahead and I want to address some of our, now we can say, constituents and counterparts of media. And Kendrick Perkins, he was one of them. He picked San Antonio to win the championship. And then when they lost Game 1, he said that he changed his pick. And where is Gilbert Arenas at? Gilbert Arenas said that the San Antonio Spurs had no chance. He said even though they only had lost by 2 points in Game 1, he said that San Antonio had no chance. Y'all remember when Gilbert Arenas said that? He said that Minnesota, it was going to just demolish San Antonio after they lost Game 1. I want some of these guys to step up. I want to hear what they got to say. I know it's 2-2, and Minnesota can very well still win this series, but that I don't know if that was a hot take. I don't know what made them. It was a 2-point loss, and San Antonio had a chance to win Game 1. Really, the series should be over right now. If you want to be all the way real, the series should be over, and San Antonio should have swept them, because if Wemby doesn't go out in last night's game or the last game that they played, San Antonio wins that game, because what Wemby does in the paint is reminiscent of what Akeem Olajuwon in his heyday was doing, patrolling the paint, getting steals, changing shots. This man had 12 block shots in one game this series. And We got a guy on the other side named Rudy Gobert. That's a 4-time defensive player of the year. And Wemby is light years better than, and I'm not saying that Rudy Gobert is not a good defensive player. I told you, I think he's in this day and age, he's not a great defensive player, he's a good defensive player. Because now, if he was playing in the 90s, Rudy Gobert would be one of the top defensive players we've probably seen. Because centers, I think he would have went good against a David. He would have gave David Robinson a problem. He would have gave Rick Smith's problems. I think Shaq would have still barbecue chicken him. But I think like guys like Olajuwon that played a little bit more finesse, I think Rudy Gobert would have been successful. But now they put him in pick and roll situation. They pick on him. But this is what I'm saying. Rudy Gobert is a very good defensive player. But Victor Wembanyama is a fan. This might be. Can we go on the record? Can I go on the record?
Yeah.
Victor Wembanyama may go down as the best defensive player at the center position that we ever seen.
Well, as tall as he is, Jody, he can get to any shot. It doesn't matter where you're at on the court. He can block your shot. He can guard any position. So, yeah, he's very dangerous when he's out there. He got arms longer than the fucking basketball court. So, yeah, that dude's a problem moving forward. So, and he helps the other defensive players. Yeah, I can play very aggressive because if you get by me, it's a fucking alien back there to block anything that you even think about putting up. So that helps everybody else on the defense look like better defenders. Not saying that the Spurs don't have a lot of good young defenders, but having that that alien back there to swat everything away makes you look even better.
I'm glad you said that because Stephen Castle had fouled out in 2 games and had 5 fouls in another game because Stephen Castle knows that he can play extremely aggressive because behind him is a guy that can block a shot. And then another reason why I say he can go down as probably the best big man center that we ever seen, and that's including Hakeem Olajuwon, is because you can't get him in a pick and roll situation because he can really honestly defend all 5 positions. I know we always say this person can guard all 5 positions, but this guy can really guard all 5 positions. You're not going to pick on Wemby and try to get him in a pick and roll situation and get him locked up with a guard because he'll block that guard shot. And he can move his feet well enough if the guard get by him, and he can block the shot if he try to go to the basket.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna even lie. Randall said, "I'm gonna dunk on you though." Randall dunked that motherfucker hard as fuck. He said, "You're not blocking this."
Hey, Jody, Julius Randle's so old school. This nigga still be calling for ISOs when he out on the court. Get the ball. No, I don't want no pick. He's so old school. You go to the Y, you play pick a game with that one nigga. He's like, I don't need no pick, man. I got this nigga. That's how he still plays like that.
He looked like an old school cat. Russell said the Spurs are going to come in handling business and can't do it by itself. Who else is going to step up for the Timberwolves? Ant-Man need help. I think Jalen McDaniels is the guy that was talking a lot of shit in the first round. He's been a shell of himself in this round. I haven't heard really. That's the X factor for Minnesota is Jaden McDaniels. He hasn't really showed up in this series, even though it's 2-2. And then Randall had a stretch where he had 9 points in 2 games. Like you can't. That's supposed to be your second option, having 9 points in 2 games.
He ain't do nothing last night. That's for sure.
Man, that's 3 games in a row. He didn't do anything. Luckily, they won. Like I said, Ant-Man can't do it by itself. Kathy said Wemby reminds me of old school basketball. So I can't wait to see Game 5.
Yeah, it's gonna be good stuff, and it comes on at a decent time too. So I know it's not late for you. It's later for you, hell. But
it don't matter.
I think tomorrow the game comes on at my time 7 o'clock. So it's like 8 your time. That's not bad.
It don't bother me. I stay up and watch it.
Oh, I'm stubborn.
Think about it. I have my own business. All I gotta do is wake up at 7:30, get my trucks on the road, then I go back to bed. Hey, but speaking of that, man. So we talking about European players. We talking about great defensive players. We talking about the Greek Freak in Giannis. The Bucks are in full-fledged trying to take in offers to move Giannis out of Milwaukee. I think they should. It's a year too late. I think they should have moved him last year. But okay, nevertheless, I think you still get great value off of Giannis. What team do you think fits the best now that you've seen that the draft came out and what position they are in this the lottery draft? What team fits the best and can give them the best compensation to Milwaukee?
Jody, when it comes to this, I'm looking at the teams that got eliminated from the playoffs early. They had high expectations. These teams are going to be very desperate. They think if we get if we get the Greek Freak, we can get over the hump and get our team back to the playoffs or back to a championship. And I'm looking at the Houston Rockets. I can see the Houston Rockets being very desperate, trading. They already did it for KD. I think they're going to try to keep KD. They don't want to admit this experiment was wrong. They're going to try to keep KD and trade everybody else in their roster and try to get Giannis down to H-Town. They're going to give up whatever draft picks they have left, and probably one of the Thompson twin and maybe one of the other power forwards, and trade them to Milwaukee and get him down here at H-Town.
You're gonna have to probably get rid of Sengun. Sengun has got to be in that package. If I'm Milwaukee, I'm not, because Milwaukee also has I think the 10th pick of the NBA draft, so they can get good really quick. But I would say, yeah, you gotta put Sengun in this deal if I'm the Houston Rockets. So that's a very good selection right there. But I'm gonna throw a little curveball at you right now. And you talk about teams that barely made the playoffs, but they didn't get in the playoff, but they're in the playoff playing game. The Charlotte Hornets should make a move for Giannis right now. I think they got enough capital. They got a lot of players playing the same position. You keep LaMelo Ball. You pair him up with Giannis. You keep Con Knipple. You probably put Brandon Miller. You put Miles Bridges. You put those guys and you put a package together and send those guys over to Milwaukee. I think it'll benefit both teams. Because like I said, Milwaukee's trying to get younger. They got the 10th pick of the draft, which I think they can still get a solid player with that 10th pick of the draft. They get maybe some draft picks and compensation, but I think they can compete. They can't do no worse than what they did this year. Giannis is not happy, and on top of that, Giannis is a little older. Giannis is about to be 33. So what he got, about 3 to 4 good years at this level playing, depending. Well, now with LeBron James and people taking care of their bodies, maybe it can take longer. But I think if he goes over to Charlotte, man, and you still keep Con Knipple and you still keep Melo Ball and pair him with the Greek freak. What do you think about that?
I can see it happening, but something about LaMelo Ball, he's a very good basketball player. I'm not saying the kid can't hoop. He dribbles the ball too much for me. This is my opinion. I don't know if Giannis's game would fit with him, but it wouldn't shock me if they made a move to see how aggressive they're going to be in the offseason. I like it.
Because I think that Michael Jordan is no longer a part of the franchise. I think they can really move forward because we really never seen Charlotte be as aggressive or really get past as a new team in the league, because they still was one of the newest teams that we've seen in the league. But we seen Miami win championships. We seen Orlando go to the finals. We seen Minnesota get to the Western Conference Finals. But we have not seen Charlotte really get out of their own way. And I think this will be a move that they can potentially start competing with those teams that were expansion teams. When I was a young kid, when they brought Orlando in, they brought Miami in, they brought Minnesota in, they brought Memphis. All these teams have been to the finals, won championships, or even been to their conference final. The only team that hasn't done it is the Charlotte Hornets. And I think the Charlotte Hornets have a great opportunity to do so, and they got enough compensation and young players that they can ship up to Milwaukee. And Milwaukee wants to get young. I can see that be a move. Any other teams that you think will be a good fit for Giannis right now?
Maybe there's a lot of turmoil going on in Beantown. Maybe Jaylen Brown gets traded to Milwaukee. They pair Jaylen Brown with Jason Tatum. There are some issues in Boston now. You know, maybe that thing is wore out his welcome a little bit. Maybe he gets traded over there and they pair Jason Tatum with the Greek Freak. Maybe he can help Greek Freak with Atlanta because this needs to get better.
That I like it. That's really, really good. Kathy said, "What do you think about the Cleveland Cavaliers getting?" You would have to give up too much, and then he'll be. The reason why I don't think the Cavs would be a good look, because he'll be leaving Milwaukee and then going right into the same team, because they would have to give up Evan Mobley. They probably have to give up. Who cares if they give up James Harden? But you're gonna have I don't know if they would have anything left except for Donovan Mitchell and the Greek Freak. And we've seen that before, him and Dame Lillard. So we've seen that story before. So I think that him going to Cleveland is not getting into the championship. Mm-hmm. I don't think it wouldn't be enough. Russell said the Rockets, that's a good team for Giannis. He said Charlotte is a good spot. Donald said, as good as Giannis is, he don't really fit with anybody besides an off-ball guard like Drew Holiday. He is like the ball. He said like the ball that the Bucks teams was tailor fit for him. I just don't think anywhere he goes would have to do much change in the roster. He's not a plug and play type of fit. And then Russ said, "What do you think about Steve Kerr re-up with the contract with Golden State, is that a good look? And we're gonna talk about it. Hold that thought. We're gonna talk about it in just a minute. But the last team I think that Giannis can potentially go to, and I've said this, is shipping him out to the desert out there to Phoenix and pairing him with a guy like Devin Booker. I think Devin Booker, if you keep him, you would probably have to give up Jalen Green in the process to get him. I like Jalen Green, but once again, he's still a young player. I think he's still trying to find his footing. We've seen that he had flashes of being really good, but I can see that Phoenix, they got to do something, because I think if they don't do something, that Booker's going to want out as well. I could see him going to Phoenix perhaps, and they got some young pieces over there, but they would probably have to give up Dylan Brooks, who I like, and they probably have to give up Jalen Green, the two guys they got from Houston, and maybe some draft picks. But then once again, you're still looking at the same team that he had in Milwaukee when he had Dame Lillard. Maybe Giannis need to play his cards like LeBron James did and don't go to any team. Don't go to any team that he got to be a free agent instead of him being traded. Because when you trade, you got to give up so much value for a superstar player. Remember, LeBron never got traded. He was always a free agent. So when he went to teams, he was giving them that extra oomph. When he went to Miami, when he came back to Cleveland, they didn't have to give anything up. When he went to LA, they didn't have to give anything up. Giannis probably needs to go in as a free agent rather than go as a trade.
But I think Jody, he has 2 more years on this deal. I think he signed a 3-year max deal last year, so I think he got 2 more years. So 2 more years, I don't know if he'll have the same value in 2 more years after. We'll see.
And definitely we'll see as the summer progresses, and we'll talk about the draft and all. But we gotta answer this question before we go to the next section. My man right here, my man Russell Higgins said, Phoenix needs. He said, that's not the one I want. That's not what I want. I'm sorry. This one, he said, I think since Steve Kerr has re-upped his contract, Golden State, is that a good look? Do you think that's a good look for Golden State?
Only if they're going to try to win. Are they going to try to build this team back around Steph Curry and make some moves and upgrade this team? Because right now, they are not a playoff team. Steve Kerr don't play basketball. Until you get in some better players, they're going to be just like they are now, fighting and struggling to get into the play-in tournament.
I'm going to go ahead. It's a bad look. It's a bad look for one, is you don't make good decisions. You let Kuminga go to Atlanta, and Kuminga could have been the piece that got you into the playoffs. You don't play him for 2 seasons. You sign him for this bullshit deal. You should have went ahead and let him go to Phoenix last year. You signed him and still don't fucking play him. When you knew Jimmy Butler was hurt, you still don't play Kuminga. Whatever personal things you have going on, and then you got players like Draymond Green, who has been with you his whole career pretty much, except for a couple years when he was with Mark Jackson, say that he felt like you held him back. You get rid of Klay Thompson. I don't give a fuck what Klay Thompson wanted. You give Klay Thompson what the fuck he want. He wanted to stay with his Splash brother. You let him walk, and you let him go to a team in the same conference. You let him go to the Dallas Mavericks. Come on, man. I know Steve Kerr ain't making these decisions, but Steve Kerr doesn't look like he can coach if Steph Curry is not on the court. So if Steph Curry is about to be 37, 38 years old, you go trade for an aging Jimmy Butler. And Butler's been hampered with injuries. You thought that was the missing fucking piece? No, Steve Kerr coming back for 2 years ain't gonna do nothing but hinder the Golden State Warriors moving forward. I think if they would went ahead and ripped the Band-Aid off and got a new coach in there to kind of overlap with Steph Curry in his days, running it back with a new coach where y'all not expecting to win. If you got Steve Kerr as your head coach, you're expecting to fucking win. He's a 4-time NBA champion. So in my opinion, he's expecting to win. So I don't like it, Russell. I don't think it's a good look for Golden State.
Unless they're going to revamp their roster and make some serious upgrades, because they need a lot of upgrades. Like you said, Oklahoma City got 5-6 starters sitting on their bench, and Golden State starters, they have 2 maybe good starters, and after that team is kind of shit.
Right, and I don't think they compete with those. Russell, he said the Phoenix Suns need him bad. They might lose Devin Booker if they don't move fast. I don't know what happened with the with our stream that we had on Instagram. We actually on Instagram now.
All right.
We got that figured out. Maybe we ran out of time. Maybe we only had an hour on Instagram. But nevertheless, man, let's keep it moving, man. So the Washington Wizards get the number 1 pick in the lottery draft. And this is one of the best drafts you want to have the number 1 pick in, because there's so many players that can help a franchise that could be potential franchise players. With the Wizards, they have not had the number one pick since they picked Kwame Brown. I believe it was 21 years ago, 22 years. No, it was longer than that. It was like 25 years ago when they had the first pick. Nevertheless, they went and got Trae Young in the offseason. They made a trade. I think he's a guy. He's still relatively young. You get Anthony Davis if he can be healthy. You draft Trey Johnson a year ago. That can be a core. What do you think the Washington Wizards should do with this number one pick?
The NBA still sneakily fixed this draft. I'm telling you, that kid from BYU is gonna still end up in Utah. Even if they just swap picks and make a trade to make sure that kid gets to Utah, it's still gonna happen. So I think that's what's gonna. I still say that they're gonna end up with that kid from Kansas. That's what I think that Washington's gonna get, and I think the DJ kid that went to BYU is gonna end up in Utah.
Okay, no doubt. My thought process on this, man, I think the number one, they need to go with Darren Peterson.
Yeah.
Darren Peterson comes in and gives them that added backcourt. There's not a lot of great two guards in the Eastern Conference. He'll come in and already be like a top 5 two guard in the Eastern Conference. We know the guy can score. He's not going to be playing like he got cramps in the NBA because this is where he was trying to get to relatively. I think he comes in, he can play off of Trae Young, who's going to draw a lot of double teams. We know Anthony Davis is only going to play about 50, 55 games, but in them 55 games, that's going to be good enough to get them to the playoffs. Man, I think that's the no-brainer right there to go ahead. And then they got the kid Sarr over there too that's really starting to develop, that they got in the draft. They can put him at the 5 position, man. And they got Johnson that they got from Texas just a year ago. I think that this team really has an opportunity to make some. I thought that Washington could have made some moves this year. So when they got rid of Chris Middleton and sent him down to Minnesota, down to Dallas with you guys, I think they knew what they were looking forward to. And I really think, man, that they can make the playoffs. I thought they could have made the playoffs last year. Maybe I was a year off, but I think the Washington Wizards will be a playoff team for sure this year.
Well, I agree with you, Jody. I mean, the Eastern Conference is wide open. Right now, we would say the Knicks are the best team in the East, and they're no powerhouse. They're definitely beatable. Every other position in the Eastern Conference is up for grabs. But I tell you what, if the Wizards are depending on Anthony Davis to do anything to help this team in the future, it just ain't going to happen. That brother is not going to stay healthy. He's going to get a hangnail and be out 2 weeks. He's just a walking injury.
Yeah, definitely.
If he can walk.
But I think if just having Trae Young on the team, even if we know Trae Young, he had a bad season this year, and that's because of the contract disputes, him wanting out of Atlanta and getting traded. Yeah. But he normally plays majority of the season when he's in the league. Last year was the only year that he missed a whole bunch of games. I think he goes to Washington. He wanted to come to Washington. That's the thing. He wanted to be traded to Washington. So I think with him coming over to the Wizards, it was something that he's seen. They're not expecting a lot out of these guys, and sometimes that's the best way to play when you're not expecting anything out of these guys. I think Darren Peterson's a guy that can come in rookie year, be the rookie of the year, and give you 22 points a game. Trae gonna give you 25, and whatever Anthony Davis can give you, you'll take. Even if Anthony Davis only plays 45 games, that's good. That's good for them. I think they can get in there. They can win 43 games, 44 games, get into the maybe have to go through the play-in game perhaps. But the Eastern Conference is going to be a lot of changes in the Eastern Conference. Like you said, I think the Knicks overall has the best core. Now that we're looking, Detroit they're going to be back. They got a good core. They're going to be looking for another scorer because they're not going to be dependent on Tobias Harris. And they seeing how Jalen Durham is playing in the playoffs. They're like, we need to make a move and get somebody else. Right now, I ain't going to lie. The third best scorer on their team is Duncan Robertson. and I mean, it is. I mean, you got right. He is of course Cade Cunningham, superstar. Then you got the second best player right now is Tobias Harris, playing out of his mind. Never played this good since probably when he was at Tennessee. And then the third one is Duncan Robertson. Then it's Jalen Durham. And then Thompson, probably the fifth option. So I think that they're going to be looking for some help. Milwaukee's dealing. They're going to deal Giannis. I think you're going to blow up Cleveland after this year. I mean, Jalen, I don't know where your boy James Harden going to be at. I don't think he's going to be a Cleveland Cavalier. So I don't know, man. The Eastern Conference could be wide open yet again. Tatum would be back, but I don't know if Tatum and Brown is going to be back. And I don't even know if Missoula have another fucking – the shit he did in the playoffs, bro. I still like, what the fuck? You started 3 people that should have not took no minutes from the guys that need to play, and you lost a close game because you played Ron Harper Jr., you played Graza, and then I forget the other guy you started, and you don't even play Vucevic, a guy that you made as a trade from the Bulls that was supposed to be the X factor. And you don't even play in game 7.
Because they got in there because they needed some bigs, and they didn't even put him in the game, man, which is weird. I don't know why they did that.
I don't know what the hell that was about. King Ming said Harris hasn't played this good since he was at AAU days in Tennessee. Yeah, he was a dog. He was a dog going in from high school going into Tennessee. He was an absolute monster. But yeah, anyway, so I think now we got the number 2 pick of the draft, and we got the number 2 pick, and we got Utah. You thinking that Utah is going to go ahead and select AJ DeBanks? I think that's the odds-on favorite to go because AJ has already said he doesn't want anything to do with the Washington Wizards.
Yeah, so I would say if I'm watching, I would play my cards right. I would pretend when I'm talking to Utah, I really do want this kid. So if you want him, you're going to have to make me an offer, and that's why I would play that from the Wizards. Because regardless, now I'm gonna get me a really good player anyway. So if you want him that bad, I want your next year's first round pick and maybe one of your players, and we can make this swap for 1 pick. That's what I would do from the Wizards.
I wouldn't scalp him that bad. I would just tell him, give me Lauren Marketing. You give me Lauren Marketing, you got a deal. You got yourself a goddamn deal. Because at some point, Lauren Marketing is not going to be a Utah Jazz, even though he fits their program, what they're trying to do out there. But when you went and got Triple J, you went and got Jaren Jackson Jr. They play relatively the same position, and if you bring AJ in there, AJ is going to play the 3. So I think Triple J is a power forward. Lauren Marketing, he's kind of in no man's land. I think you give up Lauren Marketing if that's the deal. Send him to Washington, he get plugged and play immediately. Then they got a really good team. You could put Anthony Davis at the 5, Lauren Marketing at the 4. You could put Johnson at the 3. You could put and then you put Darren Peterson at the 2, and you got Trae Young at the 1. You got a really good team, and then you got Sarr coming off the bench. So that's what I'm thinking right there. So now the 3rd pick of this draft is going to be the Memphis Grizzlies. What do Memphis do with that 3rd pick?
Ooh, well, there's rumors they're going to finally get rid of 2 guns up John Morant. That's the rumor. So they need so much. Memphis starting all over again. Who is their best player besides John Morant? Do they have any NBA players on their roster anymore, Jody? I'm trying to think.
They got the young guy Coward. He ended up having a really good rookie campaign.
I mean, do you go Boozer at 3?
I'm going Caleb Williams. If they keep Ja Morant, I'm going Caleb Williams. If they keep Ja Morant, now if they get rid of Ja Morant, then I'm going Darius A-Cup Jr.
I would go Darius A-Cup. I would say Memphis needs some more. They need somebody that's box office, and A-Cup from Arkansas is definitely that. I would go A-Cup over Caleb Williams.
Okay. Kathy said Anthony Davis gets a damaged hangnail. He said he's going to be out 2 to 3 weeks. King Ming said Coward is going to be good. But I think I go Caleb Williams. But like I said, if they get rid of Ja Morant, then I go Darius A-Cup. Now we got 4 at the 4 position. So I believe we got the Chicago Bulls at 4. What did they go with?
There we go. He can play where his daddy played. I say they go Boozer at 4.
I got Darius A-Cup at 4 because I'll say they keep Ja Morant. I'm saying Darius A-Cup at 4 because who does he remind you of? Who did he play for in college? He reminds everybody of the reminiscent of Derrick Rose. He's a tough inner city kid from Detroit. Detroit and Chicago is right next to each other. They're similar cities. They were both coached by Calipari. They both have similar skill sets. The Bulls need a guy that can come in and create with the ball. They got Josh Giddey, but I think that Darius A-Cup can be a star. Cam Boozer needs somebody to get him the ball. I like Darius A-Cup to come in and be the new Derrick Rose in Chicago.
Okay, that's a good pick for them. They need a lot too.
Now at 5, the LA Clippers have that pick. They still got Kawhi Leonard. I guess he's going to come back for another year.
Wow.
What do you think at the 5 position? What does the Clippers do?
I would say the Clippers. They got a new stadium. They need some more young stars. I think Kingston Fleming goes right here to the Clippers.
Okay, you got Kingston. I got. That's where they go with Cam Boozer, because I think that you still got Kawhi Leonard. You got Darius Garland, who you traded for. I think you go with Cam Boozer, a guy that is probably the most ready-made player, already physically gifted enough to play in the NBA level right now. And the Clippers are, you got a superstar in Kawhi Leonard, and he played more games. We can talk about him what he wants. The last 2 years, he played enough. He played over 65 games in 2 straight seasons. I mean, we can say what we want, but we gotta give him credit. He played over 65 games the last 2 seasons. So I got Cam Boozer, who was a guy that can come in and give you, I think, right away 17 and 9 right away. So I like that. Real quick, let me read the comments before I get up here. We got my King Mink said Boozer or Williams. King Mink said you think A Cup will go get his he said hire at 3. I believe Ja is going to stay or go to Kings or the Raptors. Russell said, I think Memphis is going to keep Ja because they really can't afford to lose him right now. He said Triple J is going to is gone. Where else? Well, who else do they have? I don't know. And he said he meant that high. That's what came in. And he said Kathy said Ja needs to hire someone to be his give him common sense, and then Ja to find him and Jimmy the Cricket. But yeah, so Clippers, I go Cam Boozer with that one right there. So now we're looking at the 6th pick. We got the Brooklyn Nets. Who do Brooklyn go with?
Brooklyn, they're another team that I don't even know who their best player is right now. That team
Michael Porter Jr.
Seems like they've been rebuilding forever. I'm gonna go that young guard from Illinois.
Keaton Wagler.
Yeah,
I got him at 6. I got Kingston Fleming's going at the 6th position. I think he's explosive. He's a guy that can come in. Nobody's watching a lot of Brooklyn games for it to be in one of the top markets, and I think that'll give them a reason to watch it. And I guess their best player is Michael Porter Jr. He's a guy that was putting up 20+ points a game, so I like him, Kingston Fleming's, to get the Brooklyn Nets at least somewhat something. King Mix, I stay in Memphis, and Ja wants a new contract, and he is not he said he has no agent, so he wants a max deal without an agent. That's gonna be crazy.
He's getting. It seems like he's getting worse every year as his career. It seems like his shooting's getting worse. He's missing more and more games. If I'm Memphis, I wouldn't give him a new deal.
I mean, but what else you gonna do? I mean, he's still
start over.
Yeah, but you got to get rid of him. Now you got to. Nobody want him at the trade deadline, so I mean, he's really damaged goods at this point.
Did nobody want him, or they were asking too much? You know, there's a difference. You know,
they was probably trying to lowball him, and I think they're gonna continue. They're gonna continue to lowball him. They know he wants a new contract. They'll just wait until his contract is over and get him as a free agent. You don't give up shit.
Yeah, I know Miami. I know there's talk of Miami getting him, but I don't know about that.
So we got 7, and the Kings have the 7th pick, and I think Sacramento don't need a team. I always say that. The Sacramento team, I don't think they need a fucking team. I'm gonna be honest. Sacramento is a cesspool of an organization, and they've been good one time in my lifetime, and that's when they had Chris Webber and Pedro Stojakovic and Mike Bibby and shit.
Here's Jody, instead of creating a team, just move Sacramento to Vegas. Instead of creating a whole new team. I mean, the NBA is starting to get more and more watered down. They're going to add 2 or 3 more teams to this whole thing. Just move them to Vegas. It's going to be Vegas getting every sports team now. It used to be taboo. You can never have a team in Vegas because of the gambling. No one cares about that anymore. Remember that used to be a thing, Jody?
Yeah, I agree with you. That sounds like the best thing they could do. At least somebody a root for them motherfuckers. But no, nevertheless, who you got at 7 going to the Sacramento Kings?
Well, Sacramento never knows what they're doing. They're going to reach here, and they're probably going to take that kid from Michigan.
Lyndon Barnes.
Yeah, I can see them getting that.
Well, I got Keaton Wagler going to. Sometimes you go out there to die for your career. Like, you go out there for your career to die. Sacramento then had talent. I don't want the young man Keaton Wagler to go out there, but I think that's where he's going to end up at the 7th pick. And hopefully, maybe he can keep doing what he was doing at Illinois. But we're not gonna see him at all on TV unless you got the NBA package. Nobody watch Sacramento games. So at 8, now we got the Atlanta Hawks, who had a impressive playoff run, but they ended it by getting beat by 51 points by the New York Knicks. Who do they go with the 8th pick?
Ooh, Atlanta. I'm trying to think what Atlanta needs. Oh, they made the playoffs, but they got a lot of young talent on that roster. Oh, how about that young brother from I'm gonna go Nate. Is it Nate Amith?
Nate Man. And
I'm gonna go him.
That's what I was thinking too out of Tennessee.
Yeah.
I think he fits their style. But he plays similar to Jalen Johnson. So I think they like those type of wing players that play all similar because they got Kuminga, they got Jalen Johnson. I think he'll fit right in there. I like Nate Man. He could guy that can score. It looked like he still needs to grow a little bit. I think he's still a little bit raw. He was a McDonald All-American. Kathy said, I totally agree. I live in Sacramento. He said, hell, I went to school with Kevin Johnson, the Sacramento player. Oh, hell yeah. I love Kevin Johnson.
KJ.
The number 9 pick is your Dallas Mavericks. Who they go with?
I'm gonna go Brayden Burris.
You like Brayden Burris? Okay.
Yes, sir.
I like at the 9 pick, I got Lyndon Ball from Michigan. I like him to come down there and be gritty. I think they want to have enough toughness. I think that's what Dallas is probably missing right now. You got Cooper Flag, you got your superstar. You're gonna have Kyrie Irving come back. That's why I don't want to go with a guard, because I think Kyrie Irving is going to be back. And you bring in Lyndon Ball, a guy that's older, can shoot the 3, can defend. I think that he can be a starter from day one and take some minutes away from PJ Washington, I think.
Yeah, we'll see. That's going to be interesting because they got a new GM. The guy they picked up from the Toronto Raptors. They gave him in total control. So we're going to be interested if they even want to keep Kyrie Irving moving forward. We never know. They might want to start all over again and trade him and get some more players back for him. We never know what the new GM is going to do.
They're going to trade him to Houston.
Houston need him bad.
Number 10, now the Bucks are at the 10th spot. What do you think of the 10th spot?
Ooh, the Bucks. After they trade Giannis, man, I don't know who the Bucks. Who are you thinking, Jody?
I'm going with Burris. You already said he was going. The kid from Arizona. I'm going with him because regardless if they keep Giannis or not, I think they need a premier guard up there. Since losing Dame Lillard, they need a guy that can I think this guy can be a stud in his year one. So I like Burris to come in there and be a starter from day one. He was on the team with a lot of young guys, and he was the veteran on that team. Even though he was a freshman, he led that team. Him and Bradley. So I like them get Burris.
And Jody, all these projected top 10 picks, which one of these guys you think is more likely to drop?
Cole Pete. I just think Cole Pete is lack versatility on the next level. I think he seems one dimensional, and he's 6'8", and everybody in NBA is 6'8". You got point guards at 6'8", so he plays a little bit like a poor man's Cam Boozer. And he's not as explosive a scorer as Cam. And I think that's the guy that can probably, if any of these guys, he could probably drop in the draft. If somebody get a steal at 17 or 18, that'll be a guy he can probably potentially drop in the draft.
I can see Boozer dropping. I mean, I don't see Boozer being much more than what he is right now. He's a solid player. I just don't see him adding more to his game. He can't jump over a newspaper. We've already proven that. Can he improve his outside jumper more? He plays in the post a lot, which is kind of not today's NBA. We'll see how he pans out in the NBA.
I don't know. When you say fall, how far do you think he'll fall?
I can see him dropping down to 10. I mean, considering a lot of people considering he's a top 3 pick.
Like I said, I don't think he falls no further than 5th. I don't think he falls further than the Clippers, but we can see that. King Ming said the Bucks get Steinbach from Washington. I don't know. That kid is still really, 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 really raw. And I don't know if Milwaukee. I know they're trying to get younger, but I don't know. It's gonna take a couple years for Steinbach to really develop. I think
Milwaukee. Who they hire as coach? Oh, Memphis old coach.
Yeah, and I think with Steinbach, he's a guy that came from overseas, so I don't know. He plays a very finesse game, but he doesn't have the Euro step like all the guys that come over. So I think that I like Steinbach to get picked in the first round, but I think that's a guy I don't see him getting picked into the 20s. But so I mean, King means I could be wrong.
Hey, Joe, but when's the last time we had a draft in the NBA and none of the top 10 players are from another country?
Man, this is the first year.
This seems like this is gonna be a first time in forever.
The only guy that they got that potentially could be a lottery pick is the guy Lopez. That's the only guy. Kareem Lopez is the only guy that could be an overseas player.
Where is he from? Spain or something?
Spain, yeah, something like that. So he might be the only one. But yeah, we'll talk more about the NBA draft. I just want to go through some of the top 10 picks. And as you see across the bottom is Against the Grain Sports mock draft for 2026. So if you guys want to take a look at that, we didn't mention LeBaron Feiline Jr. That's a guy I think he's going to be a lottery pick as well, man. So we'll talk about that guy. We're going to talk NFL for just a minute before we get out of here if we could. NFL, some news. Tight end David Njoku signs with the Chargers 1-year deal, leaving the Cleveland Browns. He's the second all-time leading tight end in receptions, only behind the great Ozzie Newsome. He goes over to an offense with a quarterback in Justin Herbert that can really slang the ball. This will be the best quarterback he ever played with. What do you think this does for this Charger offense?
Really helps them out, Jody. They'll make them a little bit more versatile. They also picked up some good offensive linemen in the draft through agency. They're doing a good job. They know their weaknesses. And they picked up a new offense coordinator. Miami Dolphins' old head coach is now calling plays. I think that's what he's really good at. She never had no business being a head coach. But if Njoku can stay healthy, that's been an issue the last couple of years. You know that personally.
Yeah.
If he can stay healthy, he can really help this Chargers offense.
You know, it's a lot of teams that are adopting the 12 personnel, the 2 tight end sets.
Yeah.
And it's like that's their starting lineup. They're doing away with the fullbacks all the way together. Like a lot of teams don't even carry a fullback on a roster. And I think this is a situation where he comes in and he's a second tight end and he can actually, man, he can beat the double team because he's extremely athletic for the tight end position. Like you said, healthy is always an issue. I don't know about his run blocking as much as, you know, if you're going to be the second tight end, you need to be able to block because they're going to probably line you up on the left side next to Rashard Slater. It was a guy, he should be back missing the whole season. They paid him a whole lot of money to be the left guard. And then they got Joe Alt, who they got from Notre Dame. He should be back. So, I mean, the Chargers, man, are really – Harbaugh is really building a team in L.A., man. And I think Njoku he's almost on a prove-it deal. You know, he's on a prove-it deal, man. So
1 year, I think 1 year, $8 million. So, yeah, but he's a good player, man. He got to prove that he can stay healthy, man. That's in the NFL. They don't do that Joel Embiid shit. The NFL. If your ass can't stay healthy, you gonna be living off them 1 year contract until you prove better. Yeah,
and David Njoku, he was a first-round draft pick out of Miami, so we got him that year. We had 3 first-round draft picks in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Then we got Peppers that year. We got Njoku, and I can't remember the other guy that we got with that, but I know Njoku was a late first rounder that we had 3 first-round picks, man. But Njoku, I think he's healthy, man. He's one of the better tight ends in the NFL. So I think
I agree.
Him and Justin Herbert together, he can stretch the defense. He'll be a guy that you can't double team the guys on the outside because you got to worry about him. So I would love to see that. And yeah, Kathy, I'm extremely sad because JOK, his career is probably over because he's going to miss his second year with a neck injury, and I think his career is over. He's actually enrolled in Harvard, the linebacker for the Cleveland Browns. Very smart guy, Notre Dame. I think his career is over. He was having a fantastic career before he had the neck injury. I don't want to see him play another NFL snap. I think he needs to go ahead because 2 neck injuries, you missing back-to-back seasons. Nah, I don't. He was a fantastic player. I think he was one of those players we was going to build around on the defense in Cleveland, but I'd rather see the man be able to walk.
Yeah, neck injuries ain't nothing to play with, bro, because they ain't figured that thing out yet. You mess up your neck, you be sitting in the wheelchair the rest of your life. You don't want that.
Yeah, but last but not least, what I want to get out of here on is the Pittsburgh Steelers are still waiting for a 42-year-old quarterback named Aaron Rodgers to make a decision if he's going to play football or not. We do this every fucking year. He says he doesn't want to be like Brett Favre, but he's just like fucking Brett Favre. You got a whole fucking organization held hostage. So what the fuck? Why are the Pittsburgh Steelers waiting around for a 42-year-old quarterback to tell him if he's going to play again or not?
I don't understand this, Jody. I know the man's a Hall of Famer. He's one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history, but he's not going to get this team over the hump. It's not like, well, we get Aaron Rodgers, we're going to the Super Bowl. Why are you waiting on this team? I can see if the Arizona Cardinals waiting, but the Pittsburgh Steelers, this is not the Steeler way. They normally don't do this kind of bullshit. You kick rocks. You want to be a Steeler or not, but this is the second year in a row they've done this. I don't know. I don't understand why they're playing this game with Aaron Rodgers to come in there so they can be 8-9 again next year. What's the point? You might as well roll with one of the young guys, suffer through that, and then draft you another quarterback next year. Aaron Rodgers is not going to lead the Pittsburgh Steelers and this offense to a Super Bowl. It ain't going to happen.
Man, listen, man. I want this shit to be over this year, so we ain't got to worry about this shit next year. Like, goddamn, like pull the Band-Aid off. And it's not like he played bad last year. Let's go ahead and put it in perspective. Aaron Rodgers did not play bad last year. He actually took the Pittsburgh Steelers to a playoff round and to go against the Houston Texans to go get destroyed. That was the worst I've ever seen Aaron Rodgers play, and that defense was really, really, really good. But come on, man, this ain't a Pittsburgh team that's a quarterback away. This ain't the Pittsburgh team that was loaded at all positions. You got DK Metcalf. We don't know what he gonna get into with a fan again and miss the most crucial games of the year again, where he missed the last 2 games of the season, where you lose to Cleveland and then you almost fucking lose to the Baltimore Ravens and don't make the playoffs. You got an aging Cam Hayward on defense. TJ Watt is not getting younger. Jalen Ramsey is not getting younger. You don't know if you're gonna bring Patrick Queen back or not. The offensive line is in disarray. You don't have a premier running back. You don't have a second wide receiver. But you bring Aaron Rodgers back now, and you got a new coach. You got a coach that is known for his last year. He coached. He was 5-12, I believe. Wasn't he 5-12 with the Cowboys or something like that? I may be off a little bit, but he had a bad year with the Cowboys. His last year with the Cowboys. No. Pittsburgh. This is. I go with Will Howard. You draft him in the 4th round. You're not gonna lose, but you go get Drew Alder in the 3rd round. So you got 2 3rd and 4th round quarterbacks. Go see what they can fucking do. If you have a bad year, you have a bad year. But waiting around for Aaron Rodgers, then you're gonna have to guess what? If you come back this year, we're gonna do the same shit at the same time next year with this motherfucker.
Yeah, it's like he loves the attention. He thrives off this bullshit. Oh, they want me. I'm gonna make them wait. You know, he meet a girl. And she like to play them games with you. I'm kind of like the people champ. She like to play them games with you, knowing damn well she gonna give it up at the end. She like play hard to get. That's what Aaron Rodgers likes to do. They play hard to get.
I ain't gonna lie. Aaron Rodgers is like a fucking bad rash. That motherfucker's like a bad rash, like that you think is gone, then you don't have enough ointment, and then it come back like, Aaron, just go.
You say like poison ivy and shit.
He's like poison fucking ivy, man. Get the fuck out of here. Russell said Pittsburgh dude needs to retire for real. Let a young gun get in there and do his thing. Mike Tomlin is gone. It's time to rebuild for them. Kathy said, good. Let the Aaron Rodgers. It only helps us, the Browns fans. F Pittsburgh. Either way it go, it's gonna help us because we're gonna beat the shit out of. We already beat Aaron Rodgers, and we have beat the shit out of any quarterback they put in there. I think Cleveland is ready to take that next step and make the Pittsburgh beat. We need to start beating the Pittsburgh Steelers like we did in the 80s. People forget we dominated the Pittsburgh Steelers in the 80s. Cleveland was one of the best teams of the 80s. People don't give us credit for it because we didn't go to Super Bowl. We went to 3 AFC Championship games in the 80s. But nevertheless, man,
y'all had a good run in the 80s. That's for damn sure.
Man, we had a hell of a team, man. Like for real. If it wasn't for that motherfucking John Elway, God, he couldn't stub his toe.
You telling me, Joe, that John Elway couldn't run for office in Cleveland? Is that what you're telling me?
No, hell not. I wish he couldn't stub his toe like the day before the game and couldn't play. He came to the stadium with a boot. But we would have beat whatever quarterback they would have had, man. But yeah, we got to get back to that. Cleveland got to get back to that, man. But nevertheless, man, Aaron Rodgers is the diva. He loves the attention.
Oh, yeah.
Queens niggas run you as Russell Simmons. But nah, man, NFL, man, we're gonna start seeing just the calm before the storm. In NFL, you know, it's gonna rev up. You know, they're gonna start doing a lot of involuntary OTAs and getting some of the rookies in there, doing some rookie symposiums with some of these guys, man. But you know, the NFL is gonna rev up at the end of June and July, and then it's gonna be right back to the king of the hill. But that's what we got. That's what we got for today's show, man. We had a great show today, man. WNBA is back. They need to go out there and earn their money. They got the contract they cried about. Now go out there and produce. And they've been having some good games this weekend, but you got to sustain these good games, man. So I'm really happy with the WNBA being back. This second round of the NBA playoffs has been whack as fuck.
Except for the Spurs series.
Except for that one. But everything else is a foregone conclusion. I really think Detroit, even if they lose tonight, Detroit is going to win that.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
But so, man, I need your final thought before we get out of here.
Since we've been talking about the NFL, some of these the schedule releases on Thursday, so they're slowly leaking games. And of course, the first Sunday night game is Dallas, New York, in New York City. It seems like that this is every year, like Christmas. You already gonna get Dallas. You would think it'd be Seattle. They won the Super Bowl. It ain't about that. It's about ratings. We know the Dallas Cowboys, whether they're the worst team or the best team in the NFL, they're going to get ratings. And New York brings ratings also. Even though Dallas, I think they're 7-0 in these games against the Giants in week 1 opening night lately. So we have to sit through another Dallas and New York game, Sunday night football. That's coming a tradition, just like Dallas playing on Thanksgiving now.
That's crazy work. Hey, King Ming said it, absolutely great damn show. Appreciate you, big dog. He said
thank you, sir.
Is I can't wait till I go hang out with Lamar Odom again this time.
Stay off them dick pills, dog. I'm telling you.
Hey, yo, you gotta be careful, man, because he like Trans Ams.
Do he?
Yeah.
He like Transformers?
He like hey, listen, hey.
Oh shit. Oh.
Hey, look it up.
I don't want to party with that motherfucker.
Yeah, because you get drunk and then all of a sudden he's like, I love you. Hey, man, my final thought is this, man. College football is right around the corner, man. And this has probably been the most wide open that college football going into a season. There is no clear-cut dominant team going into this season. Like years past, Georgia and Alabama, those teams reign supreme. Ohio State last year, because Ohio State could potentially lose 2 or 3 games in the regular season. Texas could lose 2 or 3 games like they did last year. Georgia, they got a lot of stuff they got to get right. Alabama's not the same Alabama team. Indiana got a new quarterback, even though they just won a championship. They lost a lot of talent. I don't know if they can repeat. Michigan, what are they gonna do? They got a new head coach. Miami, they got another starting quarterback for the 3rd year in a row out of transfer portal. We don't know. Matter of fact, Miami has to win the ACC, something they have never done before. And I'm not throwing a shot. I'm just speaking facts. So I think this college football season, man, is going to be the most exciting college football season in quite some time. And that's saying a lot because we've been some very outstanding college football seasons, but we don't know who's going to win these conferences. We don't know who's going to win the Big Ten. We don't know if it's going to be Oregon, who has 2 good quarterbacks over there. Dante Moore came back. We don't know if Ohio State can get it right, even though they got Chris Henry Jr. and they still got Jeremiah Smith and Julian Sand. We don't know what Texas, they got the Arch Manny down there, and they went and got Cam Coleman. So they're going to be exciting to watch. Oklahoma, they're going to be a defensive powerhouse. You got Georgia, still Georgia. They're still fucking Georgia. We don't know what Florida State is. They're going to start off hot and get cold. Is Clemson going to get it right through the transfer portal? Is Miami going to be able to return? Is Texas A&M going to be good? Is Texas Tech going to be able to run it back? You see what I'm saying? Is USC going to finally get over that hump? They had a really good recruiting class, and is Indiana going to be able to repeat? I'm just excited about college football, and I'm leaving a lot of teams out because this is my final thought. But trust and believe, this college football season is going to be one for the record books.
Great final take, Jody. But one thing we do know what's going to happen is Ohio State will start 1-1. They will win the first game. In the second game, I wish Ray was on here. The second game, they will lose that motherfucker down here in this 110-degree heat in Austin. We owe y'all an ass whooping. Y'all beat us 2 or 3 times in a row. It's time for some get back.
Hold on.
Like James Brown said, the big payback is coming in September, brother.
So who is y'all daddy? Is it us or is it Georgia? Which one?
We like you said, Joe, we're still waiting on DNA test to come back. Anybody can. Hey, all them niggas went out to go get milk and never came back. So we don't know who our daddy is.
That's crazy work. Hey, Key Mink said him and Eddie Winslow like Trans Ams.
We sure do. He do like Trans Ams.
Hey, my girl Kathy said, great show, and I had a good time. Give me a 1964 Ford Mustang, my favorite. I would love to have one of them brand new. You damn right. My man, appreciate my man Russell. You got to understand, I went to elementary school with Russell. I've been knowing Russell for close to 35 years.
Elementary school, y'all go way back.
We went to Patterson Kennedy together, man. Elementary school, man. Appreciate you coming through, man. Hope you come back and check us out, man, because we talk. When y'all get in the comments, we talk back.
Yes, sir.
We talk back. My man King Me said no. He said, nah, Lamar Odom and Winslow, not me.
No, you said you want to party with said he want to meet the Kardashians' new mama. What's her name? Caitlyn. What's her name, Jody?
Caitlyn.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Hey, they were like, you know, my mom was an Olympian. What? What?
My mom used to be on a box of Wheaties.
Hold on, before I leave it, I guess we can talk about this. No, I guess it's a joke. I seen the meme, and the meme was like, this is a couple years ago. They're like, man, you know, my dad used to be in the NBA. Like, oh, and it was like, hold on, your dad? I don't know. They talk about Dwayne Wade.
Oh, hey, Jordan,
like, man, y'all crazy.
I don't care what you say. The funniest thing I've seen when Dwayne Wade's son was learning how to dribble. Remember that? That was the funniest shit ever.
We still telling Mike to see that clip.
Oh man.
Hey, but my man Russ said give him a 68 GT. Oh, hell yeah. Key Ming said, damn soul, nah, bro. He said, nah, bro. OJ. That's the real daddy. Hey, but I'm your host, Jody Coleman of Against the Grain Sports Podcast Uncut, man. Make sure you like, subscribe to Instagram, YouTube, and, of course, Facebook, man, because we got a lot of good stuff on there, man. You don't want to miss it. And I'm just going to tell y'all, I keep telling y'all, it's a lot of stuff brewing. And I'm not bullshitting y'all, man. We already being a household name. I want y'all to be a part of it as we go on and go forward. We got my man Jarrell Solo on Sports Glenn all the way from San Antonio, Texas, man, doing his thing, man, bringing a great coverage, great commentary. We got his son, young Chris. We got my nephew, Donald, the voice of the youth. We got Michael, the people's champ. Perry. I was just hanging out with him this weekend, man, so he'll be back. He had a birthday month. Nigga had a birthday month.
So he's sobering up right now.
He's sobering up. We got my man Ray, more than just a barber, Lindsay. He's taking care. He's doing his daddy duty. Both of his fabulous kids got scholarships, so he ain't got to come out of pocket for nothing.
That's great news.
Outstanding father, outstanding family, outstanding children. He'll be back very soon. He's just taking care of business, and we want you to take care of business. Andrew, happy anniversary to him. His anniversary is today, 13 years. Mic'd up. We also, we got Jason, the hefty lefty, man. My nephew ended up breaking his toe, but he'll be ready. Because he's gonna play football. He's gonna be a 6'8" tight end.
Damn.
6'8" tight end. I told him just his measurements alone, he's gonna get recruited. Just as
was Antonio Gates or what?
Yeah, he's athletic too. That's what I think he's better. He probably was better in football anyway, but normally the Comans are probably better in football, but we always go play basketball. I don't know what the fuck that's about. And guess what? We can't do none of this. We can't do none of this without my man Jay Kane, the chef, cooking it up in the kitchen, man. But so what we doing until tomorrow, man?
We working, baby.
See y'all tomorrow. Peace.